Det er jo cirka 25 år siden.
It's about 25 years since my father first discovered this, and it's an amusing story. He was a farmer by trade and owned an agricultural contracting business for many years, helping farmers at harvest time and so on. So how did he discover the properties of rosehips?
Back in the early 90s, I was contacted by a farmer from Langeland. In a special subtype of rosehip, there should be the possibility to cure nearly any disease in the world.
Some Danish researchers have found what is probably a whole new use for rosehip, and that is that it may be able to give relief to people who suffer from osteoarthritis and, based on a recent clinical trial, possibly even rheumatoid arthritis. Now, this may not apply to all kinds of rosehip. There's a certain special rosehip from Denmark, from the island of Langeland. Rosehip from this particular region, under chemical analysis, shows a high spike of a certain compound called GOPO. The researchers believe that this GOPO, along with the other chemistry in rosehip, is responsible for some of the anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving effects that are observed in clinical trials with people who have certain types of osteoarthritis. Another clinical trial published in 2009 on rheumatoid arthritis patients, very different than osteoarthritis, showed that the rosehips can have an anti-inflammatory effect.
So we decided to do research, and initially we did a small research on 18 humans who were giving the powder in a very high dose. And this was because I frankly told Torbjørn Hansen, how could you persuade me that this powder works? And he said, well, around 5,000 humans have written me letters and thanked me for using the powder. They are telling me that they feel better when they take the powder. And I said, well, Torbjørn Hansen, 5,000 people, it's a lot. As a doctor, I have received maybe 500 letters from thankful patients. Could I be allowed to see these letters? And he brought them all to me, and I had a secretary to run through these different letters.
Well, I got involved in this project as early as 1998 when Dr. Winter contacted me and asked me whether I would be interested to look into the mechanism of action of rose. Then we initiated the work, the laboratory work, on looking at Rosehip that has now is marketed under brand name Litozin in Europe. It's the same product, basically. It's the same powder which was developed at that time. Extract from the rosehip from Langeland had an anti-inflammatory activity. The anti-inflammatory mechanism was reduction in the migration of inflammatory cells.
A galactolipid found in an extract of rosehip, GOPO, is a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. The present rosehip powder containing GOPO is clinically proven to reduce pain and inflammation in arthritis and may even help Crohn's disease sufferers. In the body's normal inflammatory response, chemotaxis, neutrophils migrate to the inflamed area, causing swelling, pain and stiffness. Damage is worsened by free radicals. Scientists believe that GOPO inhibits the migration of neutrophils by stabilizing neutrophil membranes. Inhibition levels in vitro are comparable to those seen with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. GOPO's antioxidant effects may further limit tissue damage.
And I'm sure that in a short while we will have a lot of different angles going. This powder has come here to stay. It's a very, very interesting new perspective.
Numerous clinical trials have shown such benefits for osteoarthritis sufferers as less joint pain and inflammation, better sleeping patterns, improved mobility, energy and motivation.
First discovered I had arthritis approximately 20 years ago, and I have it in the fingers, knee, and I also have it in my back. After many years I've had the pain that has affected my mobility, that has slowed me down. I've had the pains in my back that has given me a lot of trouble over the years. Pains which was the arthritis which I was not aware of. I like to play lawn bowls. I play lawn bowls 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes I even go down for a general roll-up. For my other activities, I like to go down to the beach and have a workout for about an hour and a half. I'm able to walk much better, run much better. I even play my sports much better.
माझं नाव आर.एस. देशपांडे आहे. माझं वय 72 आहे. 6 महिन्यापूर्वी रोझीफ्लेक्स कॅप्सूल घेणे म्हणून सुरुवात केली. 5 महिने सकाळी 3 आणि संध्याकाळी 3 अशा 6 कॅप्सूल मी घेतली. जी अधूनमधून सुरू होती ती पूर्णपणे नाहीशी होती. आता काठी घेऊन मी बाहेरही फिरू शकतो आणि नी पेन हा पूर्णपणे सध्या तरी नाहीसा झालेला. नी ऑपरेशन त्याचा योग्य उपयोग केला आणि जास्त वेळपर्यंत ते वापरत गेलो तर नी ऑपरेशन करण्याची शक्यता नाही. ह्या कॅप्सूल घेत असताना याचा खरोखरच उपयोग होतो की नाही हे पाहण्यासाठी इतर औषधी विषयी मी घेणे पूर्णपणे टाळले. वयोवृद्ध मनुष्यासाठी रोलिफ्लेक्स कॅप्सूल अतिशय उपयुक्त आहे. माझा मित्र यालाही पेन होता, त्यालाही मी ह्या कॅप्सूल घेणे सजेस्ट केले. त्यांनी त्या घ्यायला सुरुवात केली. तसेच माझी मेवणी ही 40-45च्या दरम्यान असल्यापासून तिलाही पेन होता. तिला मात्र या गोळ्याचा 90 दिवसामध्ये फायदा झालेला दिसून आला. अर्ली एजमध्ये ही पेन सुरू झाल्यानंतर ज्यांनी ह्या गोळ्या लवकर सुरू जर केल्या तर त्यांना लवकर बरे वाटू शकते आणि नी पेन पासून त्याची सुटका होऊ शकते.
मी संध्या राणी अनंत करणे मुलुंड येथे राहते आहे. गेले जवळजवळ 4 महिने मी या गुडघेदुखीच्या आजारापासून त्रस्त झालेले होते. यावेळी मी डॉक्टरांशी संपर्क केला असता त्यांनी मला रोझिफ्लेक्सचं नाव सुचवलं. या कॅप्सूल सकाळी 2, दुपारी 2 व रात्री 2 घ्यायला सांगितलं. त्याप्रमाणे मी 4 महिने या गोळ्या घेते आणि खरोखरच मी जी 4 महिन्यापूर्वी माझी जी अवस्था होती, मी एक पाऊल टाकू शकत नव्हते. चालताना, उठताना, बसताना प्रचंड गुडघ्यातून कळा येत होत्या. त्या सगळ्या कळा कमी होऊन मी आता अगदी चालणं, बसणं, उठणं अगदी नेहमीच्या सरावासारखं करते आहे. गेल्या 4 महिन्यापूर्वी अशी स्थिती आलेली की मला बाहेरून जेवण वगैरे आणावं लागत होतं. परत स्वाधीन जेवण झालं होतं. पण या रोझिफ्लेक्सच्या कॅप्सूलने मला मात्र आता खूपच आराम वाटतो आहे आणि या गुडघ्याच्या वेदना पूर्णपणे कमी झालेल्या आहेत. माझी बहीण तेंडोलकर कळव्याला राहते, तिलासुद्धा मी या रोझिफ्लेक्स गोळ्या सांगितल्या आहे. तिलाही त्याच्यापासून खूप आराम वाटतो आहे. तर मला वाटतं 4 महिन्यात जर मी एवढं चांगलं माझं गुडघ्याचं सुधारणा होते आहे तर आणखी जर गोळ्या घेतल्या तर या आजारातून मी पूर्णपणे बरी होईल अशी मला खात्रीच वाटते.
I work as a counsellor, working with my clients from home on a part-time basis. I had rheumatoid arthritis as a child. It seemed to whether go into remission or during my adult years it was fine until about 5 years ago, and I was suddenly struck with swelling in my knees, ankles, wrists, pain in my elbow joints, shoulders. My whole body was completely stiffened, really. I had a lot of trouble moving. The pain was unbelievable. I find that it helps with my joint swelling, helps reduce that, helps ease the pain. In fact, I've been pain-free now for a considerable amount of time. If I don't take it, when I'm without it, I notice my joints begin to swell, particularly in my hands and my wrists, and the pain begins to increase.